Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
Well, Allison should know.
What
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Here's Allison. Can you explain what internet is?
1994 was a good year for the boob tube. The year saw the debut of a slew of new TV shows. Some were good, like Babylon 5, Ellen, and The Critic, and some were not as good, like The Cosby Mysteries, Models Inc., and William Shatner's Tech War.
It stinks.
Meanwhile, several popular shows aired now classic episodes. A few other popular shows came to an end, and the world watched in wide-eyed wonder as the most infamous police pursuit in history unfolded live on the news. We're taking you through all of the television shows, news, and events of the 90s. This is Timeline TV.
I want to dip my balls in it!
Get ready to scrub into the ER, because this one is all about 1994. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know in the comments below your favorite TV memories from 1994. Now, are you ready to find out what everyone was watching the year Jeff Bezos was busy founding Amazon?
You rest up, and I will monitor the culture.
On January 1st, actor Cesar Romero, today most remembered for playing the Joker on the Adam West-led Batman TV series, died from complications related to a blood clot. The 87-year-old actor, whose Joker famously sported a mustache beneath his makeup, is memorialized by a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
In 3 months, I'll be 80.
He's right for me.
A few weeks later, the revered sci-fi series Babylon 5 premiered on Warner Brothers' now-defunct Primetime Entertainment Network. The show followed the human crew of the titular space station, as well as the alien diplomats that visited them, ending its 5-season run on TNT. On February 19th, comedian Martin Lawrence hosted Saturday Night Live for the first and last time. The comic delivered a monologue loaded with off-color stand-up bits about penile dismemberment.
The ladies in the 90s have license to cut off the pilly packers.
And feminine hygiene.
Some of you are not washing your properly.
Reruns of the episode cut Lawrence's monologue.
It was a frank and lively presentation and nearly cost us all our jobs. We now return to the conclusion of Martin's monologue.
We got a great show for you tonight, because I'm here.
Actually, you do irritate me sometimes.
Well, you kind of irritate me too.
5 weeks later, on March 31st, pop superstar Madonna made her first appearance on David Letterman's Late Show. The Material Girl lived up to her controversial reputation by unleashing a wave of profanity and lewd statements, far beyond what was usually considered acceptable on the show.
You are always me on the show. You are always me on the
This,
show. You are always with me on the show.
And she refused to leave the stage when she was asked.
we're going to wash her
And
mouth
he's
out
gonna
with
smell
soap.
my underwear.
The next day, Sister Sister debuted as part of ABC's TGIF lineup.
That girl has my face!
The family sitcom, which starred Tia and Tamara Mori as identical twin sisters who were separated at birth but reunited as teens, ran for an impressive 119 episodes over 6 seasons. The only thing most people remember about Jim Rome's show Talk 2 on ESPN2 is the episode that aired on April 6th. The guest was NFL quarterback Jim Everett, who confronted Rome for repeatedly calling him Chris over the past few years.
Jim, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Check that. Chris Everett, good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
A reference to female tennis player Chris Everett. Everett warned Rome not to do it again, but of course, Rome did it again.
You probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris? Too bad. We had a very nice interview that we wanted to do, but I'm going to stand by the smack, and for whatever reason, he didn't want to hear it.
Space Ghost was a superhero who debuted in a children's animated cartoon in 1966. And on April 15, 1994, the character returned to TV on the surreal animated talk show Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Hey, Al, tell us about your new record.
I came on your show because I'm a big fan.
Wrong! Next question! Superpowers! Got any?
One of the first original series produced for Cartoon Network, the show found the titular animated character interviewing live-action celebrity guests and ran for 11 seasons.
I won't have to fight your mother alone. I have a Bat Mantis.
I have a Robin.
And on April 16th, Nickelodeon gave audiences a sneak peek at the pilot for All That. essentially Saturday Night Live for teens. The show featured comedy sketches performed by a large stable of performers, as well as musical guests. The popular series would run 11 seasons and launch 3 spin-offs, including Keenan and Kel.
Celebrate the all-new 100th episode of The Simpsons, Thursday on Fox.
Hi, Danny DeVito here to congratulate the Simpsons on their 100th show.
The Simpsons aired their 100th episode on Fox. Titled Sweet Seymour Skinner's Badass Song, the installment found Bart and Principal Skinner becoming friends after the latter is fired from his job.
We need Skinner back. My water dish is empty.
Now that the series has produced over 780 episodes, the milestone almost seems quaint. A little over a week later, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air aired the iconic episode, Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse. The installment finds Will's father reappearing in his life after a long absence only to abandon him again, ending in an unforgettably emotional scene between Will and Uncle Phil that still stands among the top television moments of the decade.
How come you don't want me, man?
And I fall into his arms at the end of the scene, and he's holding me, and the shot pans off, and he whispered in my ear, he said, "Now that's acting."
And on May 13th, legendary Tonight Show host Johnny Carson made a brief appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Johnny, can I have the top 10 list?
The clearly emotional Carson performed the top 10 list with Letterman before exiting the stage, without ever speaking to the audience. It would be Carson's final appearance on TV before passing away in 2005.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we close out our 19th season, let's say goodbye to the Saturday Night Live Family Singers.
After 8 seasons on SNL, Phil Hartman made his final appearance as a cast member on the series on May 14th. Considered by fans to be one of the show's all-time greatest performers, Hartman tells the audience, "I can't imagine a more dignified way to end my 8 years on this program," before singing Chris Farley to sleep with the words,
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
5 days later, L.A. Law ended its 8th season with what would turn out to be its final episode. Producers were expecting to return for a 9th season, leaving all the show's long-running storylines unresolved. But fans would eventually get the ending they wanted. When L.A. Law, the movie, aired on May 12, 2002. The made-for-TV film tied up loose ends and reunited most of the cast with stars like Jimmy Smits, Blair Underwood, and John Spencer, conspicuously absent. 3 days later, Star Trek The Next Generation aired its finale after 7 seasons. Titled All Good Things, the 2-part episode was a hit with fans and critics, and is considered one of the best finales in television history.
I should have done this a long time ago.
Time to conclude this chapter of my career.
Closing out May, the final episode of the Arsenio Hall Show aired on the 27th.
I'd like to thank America. I'd like to thank all the talent in Hollywood that's made this what it is. This has been the greatest 5.5 years any man could ever dream of.
His show would get a revival in 2013, but it would last just 1 season. On June 12th, Inside the Actors Studio premiered on Bravo, with an episode devoted to actor Paul Newman.
Your least favorite word? Cement.
The James Lipton hosted talk show began as a televised crafts seminar for students of the Actors Studio Drama School and ran for 23 seasons. 5 days later, on June 17th, the whole world watched as former football star O.J. Simpson led police on a low-speed chase down the freeway in Los Angeles.
I'm going to have to interrupt this call. I understand we're going to go to a live picture in Los Angeles. This is Interstate 5, and this is courtesy of KCALR, one of our LA affiliates.
Simpson was under suspicion of murdering his wife Nicole Brown Simpson, as well as her friend Ronald Goldman. He would ultimately be acquitted of the charges in criminal court, but found liable for the deaths in civil court. The teen drama My So-Called Life debuted on ABC on August 25th. The critically celebrated series starred Claire Danes as Angela Chase, an average teenage girl living with her family in a fictional Pittsburgh suburb called Three Rivers.
What's amazing is when you can feel your life going somewhere, like your life just figured out how to get good.
The show was canceled after just 1 season, but is regarded as a cult classic. And on September 10th, PTV, which was PBS for Kids, rolled out the very first episode of the Magic School Bus. The educational series followed the eccentric teacher Ms. Frizzle and her class of students as they took field trips all over the world, and even through time, to learn about science. One of the highest-rated kids shows on PBS, the series would run until 1997 and win Lily Tomlin, who voiced Ms. Frizzle, an Emmy.
It was hard getting notoriety for my deeply felt role as Miss Frizzle.
Then on September 11th, the teen drama Party of Five debuted on Fox.
There's older brothers that are really cute, and there's a dog and a baby, and I'm on it. I'm joking.
The series followed the lives of 5 siblings who are forced to fend for themselves after their parents are killed in a car accident, and launched the careers of Matthew Fox, Neve Campbell, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. TV medical dramas would never be the same after ER debuted on NBC on September 19th. Created by Jurassic Park author Michael Crichton, the series followed doctors working at the emergency room in fictional Cook County General Hospital in Chicago. The most critically lauded medical series of all time, ER was a ratings powerhouse for 15 seasons and helped make George Clooney a star.
Hate to lose you in the ER.
New York City got a new executive assistant district attorney on September 21st, when Sam Waterston made his first appearance on Law & Order as Jack McCoy. Waterston would ultimately appear in 19 seasons of the show, as well as several of its spin-offs, and 2 episodes of Homicide: Life on the Street. The character became so iconic, in 2004, Waterston was declared a living landmark by the New York Landmarks Conservancy.
Your witness.
Saved by the Bell, Wedding in Las Vegas, aired on NBC on October 7th. The made-for-TV movie served as the series finale of both the original series and the Saved by the Bell The College Years spin-off.
Thursday, the lights go out on NBC. It's Blackout Thursday.
Blackout?
It's comedy in the dark. Blackout.
And on November 3rd, 3 out of 4 NBC sitcoms all told connected stories about a blackout hitting New York City. The blackout was caused by Jamie on Mad About You.
The blackout's caused by me.
What did you do?
Why is it always me?
And the effects were then felt on Friends,
And officiating at tonight's blackout is Rabbi Tribbiani.
as well as the short-lived show Madman for the People. Seinfeld, which also aired on NBC that night, refused to participate in the crossover stunt. Finally, on November 19th, Fox Kids premiered Spider-Man, the animated series. Considered by fans to be one of the best adaptations of the character, the series also featured the idea of a Spider-Verse, decades before the Oscar-winning film. But the show was abruptly canceled after 5 seasons, leaving audiences on an unresolved cliffhanger.
After saving all of reality, where do you go from here?
To find Mary Jane, my Mary Jane.
That is, until May of 2024. An Easter egg in the Tolerance is Extinction episode of Disney Plus's X-Men 97 animated series wrapped up the Spider-Man storyline with Peter Parker and Mary Jane finally reunited after more than 20 years. Better late than never. So what do you think? What was your fondest TV memory of 1994? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other timeline videos.